All right. Yes, I am shirtless, but ignore that. Today, I talked about the annexation of the Philippines, if it was pro or cons, and an hour or two research I did before, and finished my other quiz for anthropology. As I was doing it, I realized it kind of. You guys ever believe that everyone is different and unique inside? Because it's true, everyone has different experiences, beliefs, everything. To the moment you were born, to the day you die, you're going to experience so many different things compared to other people, but also similar things. But the difference is what makes you unique. So when I say be yourself, because when you're yourself more, you're going to find people more like you over time. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I was in the middle, and it's funny to me because I think to myself, since I'm in the middle of the tables, since they're all stick together, I could have chosen to sit on the other side, right? But I just sat where I normally sat, I guess in the middle, near my group, right? And so in the middle, there's no one in front of me, but either way, if I sat on the other side, there'd be no one in front of me. And I got picked pro for like the annexation of the Philippines. And what does this have to do with anything in life? Well, let me tell you. I realized, because I really wish I looked up also, like, when I did this, I was looking more cons than pros, so pros kind of came afterwards. And the things they talked about in the cons is what I thought of for pros later on. I thought of. And it sucks because, like, I can't use, like, information that's, like, based on here now, because if you think about the Philippine Americans, they're kind of, like, the most top ethnicity with the most, I guess, good job careers right now. So they're making a lot of money. And I have nothing but respect for them. Their culture and everything is awesome. Compared to Vietnamese, it's like we don't got no education from our family background. We are either dentists, I don't know, computer science major, I don't know. Whatever a stereotypical Asian is, which is not me, honestly. And, someone today I met, he's Filipino, and he told me that I could become president. Like, no one is thinking like the way I think, and that the way I found solutions to things. I'm like, yeah, because I have a solution for climate change. I have a solution for ending racism. I have a solution for like ending violence and random wars. I have a solution towards religion differences, like if people have different religions. Although when I say solutions to that, I mean, I know there's a way to define that. It's like more like how religion actually works. Like if you believe in something, right? Because I truly believe that if you believe something and say something and write it out, it will become true later because you will manifest it. I'm not saying like you'll fly. I mean, who knows? You could go to Air Force and then fly. So technically you will be. But what I'm saying is what you say, speak, write, believe, it will come over time if you work hard of it every single day, 1% better, right? So in that theory, right, technically, if you believe in something hard enough, it will come over time. Now, does that mean you'll win the lottery? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, like, you will manifest a way, dream, or come up with a way to figure out something over time. Just like when it took me 3 days to figure out climate change. Because, like, I was, like, thinking, so what if I do if I was president? And I thought about it. Like, honestly, if we make the students more math, science, and technology, and then increase our education over time, over the short years, somewhat we can think of a way to create we either have a choice of going to space and then resetting the Earth like 100 years, we come back down when it's better, or I mean, everything will just slowly get worse over time. So there's no like there's a ticking time bomb. There's no like actual way to just fix the climate change. Like the only way would be if freaking, I don't know, everything just froze all over and we just went to the future or something like that. And then, I don't know, I guess time will just slow down and continue the way it will be later on, if it will work like that. I'm not really sure because, like, the Earth is always moving and changing. So, like, I would say some parts of the world will be different by the time we thaw out. That'd be something interesting. I'm not saying we're going to freeze and that would solve everything, but it's just more likely that if we were to slow down everything, whether we all just paused in time and everything just like slowly kind of like calms down in a sense because of global warming and everything. But unlikely that's going to happen. That's like too impossible. Like we can't really do that. But we can get smarter. We can go into space and we can just go back later or we can sacrifice like the pleasures we get from, I don't know, some people like cars, so they need their high gas and whatever, 93, 96, whatever, something like that, right? Or my teacher said something about less coal usage. And so what I'm trying to tell you guys is that we have a certain amount of time on this world, and so I'd rather just be happy doing what I want to do, writing my book into a movie, and then probably be the greatest movie of all time, because it'd be like an Interstellar, Kung Fu Panda, Naruto, Spider-Man. Am I missing anything else? It's about family. It's like Jesus almost, like sacrificing love. Yeah. And you know, people might think, oh, you're just making this bullshit up, or you made it all in your mind. But it's like, no, if I can sense your emotions and your motive, it's pretty good enough to where I can make a story, because I can just tell by, first of all, if someone throws away your pizza that you didn't finish, and they get happy and smile about it, and they're jealous because of your personality, that is called jealousy. Like literally, if someone hears your talent and gifts, and they get like a little, like, psh, like, you know, and get a little like whatever, that is jealousy. If you feel like, oh, they're bullshitting because they don't want to believe it, because it's like something impossible to believe, but it's like, I've seen crazier shit, bro. I seen some crazy shit in Fortnite. I seen some crazy shit in real life that honestly people wouldn't believe unless they were in my shoes and they saw it myself. So yeah, like, impossible was a word we created to think that's never gonna happen. But then look at us. We went to space, we went to the moon, and then we also like proved that the world, the sun doesn't revolve around the world, we revolve around the sun. So, and gravity, like that wasn't a thing before, and now we have it. So it's not like people flew before we figured out gravity, right? So what I'm trying to say is, we didn't have planes before, now we do, and we don't have any like flying cars back then, but now we do. So what, like having psychic is impossible to believe, or deja vus, or I mean, I'm sure people get deja vus, but it's like visions, right? Like people get that. That's why The Simpsons, some people warned stuff before, and they create like a tall wall. Like for example, tsunami in 2011 Japan, spent $1 million on that big tall wall. They all like laughed at the mayor. The mayor didn't care. On his tombstone, when they read it, when they say, "You're reading this because you survived thanks to me," or whatever, like he predicted. Everyone thought it was crazy. We seen all that money when all the other flood walls were not that high, and then they all died, like in millions, except for that village. So yeah, he died afterwards. So this happened after he died, right? By the way, so on his tombstone, he was really like, if you're reading this, you survived because of me. That shit is balls. But like, yeah, there's gonna be people different from you, whether you like to admit it or not. We're all equal in a way where we can work our way. Some have a head start, some don't. Some have more resources, some have more family love, whatever it is, right? Number 1 rule, never give up. Number 2 rule, mindset is everything. Your mind controls how people are jealous of you, people talk behind your back, people, blah, 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 blah. Don't give a fuck, dude. Do you, bro. Do you. And like today, this nurse was telling me a second job and career in arts. And we were in the computer lab, and she just told me some stuff. I mean, she was trying to focus, but I don't know why she was talking to me. But yeah, maybe because my loud video, but then I lowered it. But like, anyway, she was like saying like, oh, no, you have a time limit. Do what you love. So this is coming from a former nurse who was also in the military, which was really nice and shy. I was surprised about that. But yeah, like this older black lady was just telling me, do what I love over whatever. And I'm like, I wish I could say like that if money was no issue, but you know. Then I see like also free computer science books, so I took some of those, took it home, right? I'm like, dang, I can get into computer science later and learn some of it now. It's almost like God granted my wish. Like I can learn some of it now, study it, and then later take the ASVAB for Air Force, and then do that later. Also, I saw something like a text from SMU, something about transferring there or something like that. I mean, they only need a 2.7 GPA or something like that, but mine's higher than that. But yeah, my GPA in my entire life, when I tried more, it was more into the A's. So it was closer 3.6 to something like that and above. But when I don't try, it was honestly around a 3.3, maybe 2.8 at the lowest. Like, I mean, in health careers high school, it was hard. Even though I had photography, it was still hard. Like math and science was still hard. I'd say like my GPA was probably around 89, so overall. But other classes I might have got 60, 70 in math, but otherwise other classes like that were easy to remember, like history or like English or speech or something like that, like 100 or something like that, 94 and up. So like it just really depends, like even Spanish too, like just using my memory, right? So what I'm trying to say is during the debate, oh my god, it was like 1v10, bro, because it really was. Like my teammates were shy. They didn't speak loud, and I mean they had to talk too, so I gave them a chance. But I started it off, and then boom, boom, boom. They said the stuff that I wrote down, and then I was like, okay, I got this, and I just said it back. But the number one thing I couldn't beat was morality, like the deaths and stuff. Like I couldn't do anything about that. Like that just happened in the past. Like wars, people die, right? I can't do anything about that. But in my opinion, like if it wasn't for the war and everything, and although I'm not saying like it was great that we took over Philippines, their system and their way of living civilization would have been just like Vietnam or something. It would have just been like slower and then just like worse off, like because the Philippines got to learn, they got the education, they got to come here, they got to do all this stuff, they got the education more, they get good jobs, they work hard, like, you know, they basically civilized and integrated, whether they wanted to or not. I mean, even though our religion was just like, you know, they kept saying things like converting Christianity, and they're like Protestant Catholic, or, and I've been thinking they're kind of similar though, so I don't know if that was a big issue or not, but it's like you can literally practice whatever religion you want in here. You literally any religion. So it's either that or communism, your choice of that, and you have to be just following whatever they say. And I seen the communism government in Vietnam because I went over there, right, when I was younger, and I saw like how the way things were. And my mom told me like, oh yeah, jobs you have to like pay in order to like apply or work, and then like the only other job that was decent was military. So yeah, it was pretty bad, not gonna lie. So if you're a guy, your likely chances in Vietnam surviving is less than a girl, probably. Because at least a girl has more education to learn English and then go travel and do something else and teach, right? I would say more likely Vietnamese women are more favored, besides their beautiful aesthetics and their nice and their traditional ways. Housewife, and I say that because I've seen my cousin over there. 10 out of 10, that's my type, but not to be weird or anything. It just is what it is. Like, she was just nice, smell nice, tan. Like, man, I was 11 years old and she was 16. Like, it was, I just fell in love with her. It sounds bad to say that, but I did. Like, my cousins here, I'm pretty sure they were kind of jealous. I don't know what they were feeling, but they were kind of just like, not that, you know? It's like if you're looking at a painting and you're looking at like the Mona Lisa or something like that, and then you look at like someone else's Mona Lisa that they drew, or my hand drawing, and it just sucks. It's like a little less of that. It's like that. Like, oh, I don't know, but yeah, like I had a high standard of women after seeing my cousin like over there. I was just like, dude, why am I even saying this? Why am I revealing this? Okay, but in my offense, she was very nice to me and everything. So I guess that's just how, because it's not like my mom taught me anything about like, you know. Anyway, so. Yeah, I will admit that one of the cousins I did like had a thing, and I didn't do anything, but it just felt like, man, if I wasn't related, I really wish I was older too, and I lived over there because it just was not fair. I was like, bro, it's just not fair. It's just not fair at all whatsoever. I remember learning about Vietnamese bloodline too. Is like they hook up in royalty to keep their blood like linear. That's probably why there's so many wins and hoes and trans and I mean I'm just saying like the facts, bro. Like the Win dynasty, bro. Like for real. But yeah. Anyways, back to my topic. The Philippines. I did very good to the point where the other side was like, can we get someone else besides him to talk? So yeah, I mean, the 3 judges voted for the cons to win because of the morality thing. But otherwise, I nailed like pretty much all the other stuff they talk about, like. You know, I talked about commercials good and change. I talked about how the education got better. I talked about how, even though it wasn't in the book and stuff, like I know the Philippines, you know, Americans, they're doing a lot better now. We have Philippine Olympians. We have a lot more Philippine like showing into movies too, like actors, and then like from Avatar, and then also like the most income right now is the Philippines. Like ethnicity is more. They work very hard. Okay, the only difference between Vietnamese and Philippines. We're just different side of the end of the world. One was conquered by U.S., the other wasn't. And because of that, I can see that the Philippines did a lot more better than Vietnam. Because literally North and South Vietnam is complicated. South is good, North is bad. But I don't know about now. Like does that even matter? It's, yeah, so, yeah.